like sit my foot close to his hip, my hip close to his foot, because I don't want to, like, if I stay with my hip on the side over here, it's so hard for me to keep my de la riva up. So I'm gonna kind of sit on his foot, so that makes it easy for my de la riva hook stay in. Okay, also I don't want to be too close, because when I come up, it's gonna make it hard for me to stay in a good posture. My right foot gotta stay all the way up over here, not low his knee, so as high as possible over here. Sounds good. So I'm gonna skew back a little bit, and when I sit up, I can drop my de la riva down, keep my right leg up, pull his sleeve, hug his leg, and I'm gonna bring his knee really close to my chest. So if I am too close to his foot, when I sit up, I feel that I'm stuck, and then that gets hard for me to sit up. So it's important that I keep some space over here on with my butt on his hip, on his foot. So I drop it, push, pull the sleeve to me, and then I go, keep my back straight, my foot up as well, and then I'm gonna hug. If he has the hand in my collar over here, I will not go like, I'm always trying to go over his arm so I don't let him get the underhook. So I always palm him. If he tries to get the underhook, I'm gonna go under his arm, hug it, and stay really close. So we're gonna work in the option also with few days leave. That'll be my very first option, but right now just sit up so you get used to it. If you're not familiar with this kind of guard, just sit up, hug, come back down. You could be with the hand on the ankle as well, instead you're holding the pants. That's an option as well, but when you're holding the pants, it gives you more options later on. Depends on his reaction, like his grip on the pants. We're gonna open more opportunities for you. Other point is important, guys. If he's holding my pants, I wanna break this grip first. So I don't wanna sit up when he's holding my pants, especially over here on the edge of my pants. That there is the leg drag. So as I come up over here, you can push my leg down like this, or you can cross my leg, start like leg dragging. So every time before I sit up, I break the grip, stay nice, like with my grips closed, my knees kind of tight. I don't want to have my leg open over here and let my knee out. Sounds good. So keep your knees nice and tight, drop down, push, back straight, pulling the sleeve to you, hug it, and keep my knee tight. Sounds good. And then I keep feet, and then we're gonna work some options from here. But right now, just make sure that you feel comfortable sitting up, keep your leg up. Sounds good. And stay close. Like when you pull the knee, keep the knee close to you. I don't want to be far. Sounds good. Any questions? No questions at all? I could, but I could go here right then too. Just like this, right? Plug in over here. Like this. You could, but then your hand is busy holding his leg. So when you're here, we're gonna work with this hand holding the sleeve, holding the collar. So if you want to sit up, hold it, and then you switch, you can do it. But you're gonna see that when you have this hand free, we're gonna work a lot with this hand as well. So good, and then it's good for you to have this hand free. Sounds good? Any questions, guys? No? All right, let's go. Sounds good? If he does break it, you know, oh, he broke my grip. A lot of times, I'll have this hand free. I can work with the collar. Sounds good. That's what we're gonna see it tomorrow. Or I know most of the time I'm gonna try to push my ankle down. So I don't need to keep like fighting to get the grip, you know. I know his foot, his hand goes to my foot. So when he goes, I just go over here, re-grip. Most of the time his hand's gonna be there already. So I can hold. And you know, just one thing you can keep in mind. So as I control the distance already, I know when I sit up, I'll have a good angle to be comfortable. I want to drop and trap his ankle, so I don't want him to step back when I let go the pants. So I go over here, sit up, go all the way up. Very first option, I'll be able to transit to exchange the grip over here. So I'm gonna feed the sleeve to this hand over here. Sounds good? Now I'm gonna look for the collar as high as possible so I can control his posture. I don't want to grab low because over here he continues strong. So I want to go high so I can control his posture. Now my foot was up now on his hip. I'm going to try to slide it down a little bit to his inner thigh next to his knee So now I'm gonna pull and push the knee, like this, push his knee entirely here. Once I get over here, he's gonna get off balance. If he fall, I just follow. If he don't, because I have a better base, I'm gonna put my leg back and drive forward and keep pulling. So once I get over here, I'm gonna like pit stop over here. So I'm gonna be like in the fold pass. Don't rush to switch your grips. Okay, so stay here. I'm gonna be heavy on his knee, not high over here. I have the faking pressure that I have a good pressure on him. So if he open his knee over here now, boom, I easily fall, right? So I wanna be heavy back. So I'm gonna kind of like put my knees down, his leg between my legs. I pause over here and I look away. So we're gonna try to open his knee now. I'm really heavy on his knee. That makes it really hard for him to look away. As I am holding this sleeve, he cannot block my arm. So I have the hand in the collar over here. I can go over here and club the back and pull his back to me. That's gonna give me a better, good shoulder pressure. Now I'm gonna like bring my knee in and twist my hip, step back. You see how I keep the sleeve? Now I can let it go. He's gonna try to bring this knee in. So I go over here, block, walk towards his head. Once I get him flat, I bring my knee to his hip, block, hold his arm, and then I can get a good side control. Every time he tries to frame and shrimp out, my hand goes here. Every time that he frame and he trying to shrimp out, I'm gonna keep my hip on his hip, not on the floor. Sounds good? When my hip is on the floor, when he pushes away, he can start putting his knee in, he can start getting the inside control of my arm, and that goes along with what Jimmy was teaching us yesterday, right? If I cannot get a good control of his head, he got a good chance to skip. He has a good frame, start putting the knee in, and then I start losing the position. So I want to keep my hip on his hip. Every time that he's trying to frame and kick out, I keep my toes on the mat and drive my hip on his hip, walk back a little bit, and if you can isolate this arm, bring my knees together, and that will be a good idea. You know, that will be a good thing to do as well, because now he cannot frame as much. He just have this hand to frame. Sounds good? So